Next up, 83rd place by Caracc. Caracc? Loopy Labyrinth. It's Dinosaur Land, and Bowser has stolen something. Go left. Oh, I know this level.
I remember this one.
I actually like this level, and I'm the outlier on it.
You are the outlier, because I've played this one, and I have feelings about it.
Is it because of all these?
No. Just kind of... I'll talk about it once we're done. How I felt.
Mm-hmm. I ended up liking this level for some reason. I think it's because there's a lot of little, like, side paths and things like that. I don't know. I was just feeling good about it that day.
Ah, I see. The incredibly fair judging, I felt good about it. That day specifically. I played it like twice, but only on that one day.
It just... I think the thing that I said is it lived up to its name about being a labyrinth, essentially. It's not actually very, like, super maze-like, but the level is big.
Yeah.
Or it's open, I should say. It's not really big. It uses the tall horizontal levels a little bit to make its rooms a little wider. The ceilings are never super low or anything like that. And there's enough pipe and door transitions, essentially, that you kind of just keep getting placed into new parts of it without really knowing, hey, where am I now, essentially. So it got in a... It felt very much like maze-like, essentially, which is good for calling it a labyrinth.
You didn't jump.
I didn't. But yeah, that's kind of... Like, it's big open, and the Yoshi coins usually have a little bit of side path to them to get. So, I ended up liking it. But I was seemingly the only one.
See, I didn't like it because it not only was it very long, open, and maze-like, but from here, it gets way more linear for like a quick bit right at the midpoint, and if you fall down, you have to do it again.
There's a little bit of a puzzle to
Yeah.
do after the midpoint.
Yeah. But I kept having to redo this part. And I basically was like, okay, I played it like 5 times, that's enough.
Yeah, and you weren't judging, so...
No.
Don't get worried and don't get scared, because you will always be prepared. Needed items will respawn whenever you use a pipe. Oh, I remember there's a thing about blind jumps here. You can barely see these.
Yeah. It's worse on a Super Nintendo and a CRT, because I couldn't see them.
Right, you played on your...
This is before I had the NT, so I was playing on a... like... a kind of beater CRT, I should say. It's not very good, but it did the job. Really dangerous. You did it.
I need it to keep going, though, so I'll reset through this. No, it's not this pipe.
I think it's the green one.
Or maybe this orange one. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of room transitions, essentially, so it leads to this whole where am I now sort of feeling, which I felt contributed pretty well to the name of the level.
It does contribute to the theme, but it can be frustrating if you have to repeat something.
I suppose. And this comes down to personal experience with it, because I don't remember having to repeat.
I think it just says VLDC.
I think you need a silver P here.
Yes. Hit a ceiling. Right, because we have that bug fixed.
Which one?
The silver P through pipe becoming a...
Oh, yeah. The fix-all patch.
Unfortunately, it fixes double carry, so...
Double carry is annoying to pull off. Like, the only way I know how to do carry reliably is by looking at pixels. Straight up just looking at pixels. Yeah, I still say I like this level. Though it's not my favorite or anything of the contest, but I think it's okay.
Aggressively okay.
Loopy Labyrinth. I gave 72. I wrote a fair bit here. I don't know what it was, but something about the way this level was built and was populated by relatively few enemies really made it feel like a labyrinth, and I can't really explain why. As it turns out, the level's fairly linear and only gets a bit non-linear if you go for the Yoshi coins. Perhaps it was the abundance of pipe transitions that gave the feeling of getting lost, because you're never really certain where you are after a transition until you recognize some element of the level you've already seen. Or maybe it was the long diversions for most of the Yoshi coins. And let me quickly compliment your choice of wall springboards for climbing vertical walls, because I think they may help to navigate this level, this very vertical level, nicely. I'm really torn here because this level was, strictly speaking, very simply designed, but it manages to feel more like a maze than I would have imagined without actually being frustrating or confusing in its layout. I'll go one step further and say that despite my initial uncertainty towards the graphics used here, I think the abstract background, low detail foreground, and very secondary colors palette manages to create an aesthetic that enhances the feeling of getting lost. I don't know how the other judges will agree with me on this, because it could very well come down to purely personal feelings here. But there was something about this level that I just really liked in spite of its simpler design and sparseness of enemies. The level more than anything really evokes that feeling of being lost without ever actually letting the player be truly lost, all by using a lot of pipes and side paths to give them things to explore without exactly knowing where they are in the maze, and I think it felt really good because of it. So, that's my explanation for it. That's why I thought it was okay as a labyrinth. It's not amazing, but it's fun enough. And I think the other judges kind of approached it more simply, how it was just kind of
kind of like I did, I guess.
Yeah, it's not much going on in it in general and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I'm still fine with that. My opinions there. We've been going for an hour and a half. We could do a little bit more.
Okay. You saw me yawning.
No, I was also looking at the time.
Oh.
Next is 107th place by YoshiGamingHD, Black and White Land. HD Yoshi.
Oh. Oh.
Well,
that man's a statue.
Black and white.
But it's blue.
I remember this now. If I remember right, this is 107th out of 100 and whatever places.
Yeah.
But it's not like aggressively bad or anything. It just ends up being
not much of anything.
Yeah, like it's not like I said, aggressively bad would be the wrong term for it. It's just not great. Which we kind of encountered. It's a very, like, new... It feels like somebody's first level, but a little more than a first level, maybe.
Yeah.
It's short, it doesn't really have much going on for it. The aesthetic is, well, it is what it is, but... What is wrong with that guy?
He's stuck on one block.
But how? Was there a coin there and I bumped a Koopa into it?
I don't know, free him from his helmet.
I don't really understand what was wrong with him there.
Oh. They can't even get you. Oh no, a fish.
So it's just a very kind of there level. Ooh. Also that jump.
Okay, that
yeah,
happened.
It's an extremely there level. It's short, doesn't have much going on in it, there's no real idea. The aesthetic is okay, and so that's kind of how it ended up scoring low on my side. Oh my god, what is... Well, now I know this is a video game. The magic has been ruined.
Oh, no.
Black and white land. Or it's not land, it's just black and white. I don't know. 23 out of 100. There isn't much to this level aside from the black and white aesthetic gimmick. Even then, you still missed a few colors like the browns in the bushes and the status bar. The level is extremely short, with barely any ideas explored before it ends. The midpoint is only 4 screens away from the goal. There's honestly very little to talk about here because the level is so short and basic. Make the level a bit longer, figure out some kind of neat idea you want to base your level around. That isn't just an aesthetic idea, and then see what you can make with that idea. If this is your first level ever, don't get discouraged. Keep it up, keep trying, and work to make something great. I always try to leave little encouragement notes for people that I assume. I mean, I know I know I'm assuming a lot in many cases, but you can kind of tell when it's probably someone's first level.
Yeah.
Or one of their one of their first levels, plural. So I try to leave little encouraging notes for people who I can kind of take a guess about. But yeah, that's all there is to that one. It's 107th. That's how it goes. 97th by bebn legg. Oh no, it's I didn't realize I trashed bebn's level.
Oh no.
bebn is one of our moderators. Our Discord moderators.
And the music.
And music moderators, that's correct. What is going on with that? Okay.
Okay.
What did...
Oh.
It is a strange land. Glowing in the deep.
Well, we are in the deep. Oh, I remember this one. I didn't like it very much.
I can't believe... This is gonna be a repeat of me trashing Ivy's OLDC level again, isn't it?
It is.
Poor bebn.
The music's good.
Is the night too silent? Flip the switch to bring out its glow. Keep a close eye, and the night is full of subtle secrets.
You never want to switch off despite it doing this because... mechanical reasons.
Really?
Yeah, you'll see.
I don't remember. I don't know how to get that. Look, that's the bottom of the level. How would I get that coin? Or is there a... whatever. Oh, bottom layer.
There's a bridge.
Why do I want this on? Because I'm pretty sure I turned it off immediately.
You really at least want to cycle to something where... So, yeah, this should be fine, because it'll stand out. You just need it to not line up with the default palette anymore.
Like this?
Yeah. Because if it lines up with the default palette, then the levels gimmick will get you. Yeah, that's fine.
Ow. bebn, why?
You'll understand the gimmick when you see it.
I just don't remember it at this point.
bebn, why?
Is this more Toho music? That's very much like Toho motif. Well, Toho doesn't have a motif, it's just familiar.
Yes, it is. It was released in a C3 thread.
Oh, did he make this?
SPC of it was, I believe. Yeah. So,
oh,
that's the gimmick. So you want it to just not blend in with that. Anything using the default palette and not glowing is fake.
I might have noticed it. I might not have realized that was what was going on in the gimmick.
Because you had it, you never turned on the...
Or I turned it on, but I probably turned it off at a point where I could see.
Yeah. But it's real easy when it's glowing, because holy shit.
Yeah. Alright. Maybe, had I picked up on this, maybe it would have gone a little more on my points? I don't know. That's the problem with trying to score stuff.
The level also gets really confusing.
If it doesn't glow, does it exist? Maybe at this point I realized, wait a second. Oh, but wait, it doesn't exist, those aren't glowing. Yeah, I think at this point I realized what was going on.
There's also fake reset blocks. Like, it is just really headed.
I think at this point I was like, I remember kind of,
Unfortunately, I did not like this level very much because it was really confusing dealing with this gimmick.
The fact is its aesthetics. Oh shit.
Yeah.
The aesthetics are a bit...
It's also kind of bright purple.
Yeah. There would be better color palettes to use for this sort of stuff. I need that. Oh, excuse me. Where am I going with this one? Oh, I could have fallen down here, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I'm taking this. Was it up above again?
Maybe? I don't remember.
Maybe I needed to go through that wall.
Maybe.
I think I did.
Oof. Well, luckily, there's a real oh, no. bebn.
Bebn, why? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to the end of the level. Okay, we all right.
beat it. It's over.
I'm so confused. Alright.
I agree, 3 sign. I agree.
Glowing in the deep, 50 points. I understand what you were going for with the glow idea, but man, was it tough on the eyes. I think I'm still seeing purple. I think there are less eye-straining ways to show a glow than bright blue purple color rotation. Something as simple as a dull glow back and forth would have looked a lot better. It didn't help at the end of the level either, where the glow is mixed in with a bunch of non-glowing objects and you have to stare long and hard at what you need to be doing. I recognize that it's basically the level's gimmick, I'm just not sure it was done very well. It would have been much more bearable with a less harsh glow. The first half of the level isn't anything special, mostly just going left to right with a few little things you can see with the glow active. It's all the sudden puzzle elements after the midpoint that make the level slow down a lot more and get a bit visually overwhelming, but after you strip away the glow, it's not particularly interesting design, just a fairly standard carry an item to this point and use it puzzle. I think there could have been more interesting ways to use the glow overall. I'm sorry, Bebn. Your level hurts my eyes.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I played. Well, I was doing before I had compiled them all. So I guess I must have played a beta version. I don't know. Because I was playing in alphabetical order, so there's a lot of levels that begin with A. I might have gotten to G. I don't know. But no, then I would have played the other one. So
who knows?
Who knows?
Next up, French. 87th place by Cote de Boeuf. I don't know.
Boeuf, yeah.
Boeuf. I'm not French. I'm not French. Dents.
I can't pronounce it, but I can read it.
I don't know. It's French. We'll see it. Special thanks to Bebn. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's for the music, I guess.
Yeah. Taffy,
Magi, and Blue, and Hash. For their
probably beta testing too.
Yeah, probably. Left.
He's not home.
One of these days, he's gonna be home.
Yoshi's Island too.
Dents, which is not how you pronounce that at all. So I've just offended some French people, I'm sure.
That's fine.
Oh.
No, I'm Albertan.
Wow. Alright, what's down here? Whoa. Nope. I'm not going for that anymore. You've ruined my trust.
Mario failed the trust fall. They changed the status bar.
Yeah, you're right.
That's something you can do if you're not expecting to make a compilation. It's just... Oh, it's slippery.
Yeah, it's icy.
Okay.
Those coins.
Do not trust the coins anymore. Trust your feelings.
I'd already failed the trust fall.
That lone Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wasn't this like one of their first levels, I think?
I don't know, and I'm not sure, because it doesn't look like, but I'm not sure.
But they got... Oh.
I don't know. That was over faster than I thought.
Dents of Uranus. I don't know what dense means, don't look at me. I know food. If you put a French word for food in front of me, I can probably read it.
Well, let's take a look. I gave it a 48. I had a lot of trouble with this level and it's surprisingly short, as though you ran out of time and just had to end it there. There's a lot of nearly full extension jumps required of the player, with little time to react to the setup since falling platforms don't stay still long enough for you to observe the Paracupa flight paths. As such, much of this level felt like trial and error, the kind of level you only beat by dying through it a bunch of times, learning each setup and jump by dying into it once. I also found the Yoshi coins to be completely not worth getting, since the first one had a tendency to trap Mario on the little chunk of land near it and not spawn the paratrooper to get back. The third one didn't seem possible to survive once you got it. A few coin trails seemed a bit unreliable, and overall this level just felt like it lacked some general polish when I saw a hothead spinning in the air, an easy fix for sure when had you done some testing and polish. As far as what I mentioned in the review about dying, I remember dying a lot more in the original, or in my playthrough, so... But even if I hadn't, I don't think that it would have scored very high, because it's full extension jumps and stuff like that, precise platforming. Even playing through it now, there were still moments where I was like, I don't know if I'm getting through, but no. I think it needed more. It just needed more to it. A little less precise and more level.
Less precise and more level, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could do an entire level just based around balancing on slopes.